Hello students, I am Manoj Kundare, the Assistant Professor of Electronic Science. Welcome back to our e-learning platform. In previous video, we have seen the details about the photodiode. In that video, we have seen the operating principle of the photodiode, the advantages, disadvantages and applications of the photodiode. The link of the previous video is available in the description box. Please check it. Now, in this video, we are going to see the concept of the optocoupler. The optocoupler is also called as the optoisolator. An optoisolator or an optocoupler is a device that transfers electrical signal between two electrically isolated circuits through a light energy. That means the optocoupler is a device which transfers electrical signal between two electrically separated circuits through light energy, not wire medium. It generates communication link through a light energy. An optocoupler or an optoelectronic coupler or an optoisolator is an electronic component that basically acts as an interface between two separate circuits with different voltage levels. Optocouplers prevent high voltages in one part of the circuit affecting or destroying from other parts of the system. Now let's consider the two electronic system first and electronic system second. Consider the electronic system first works on the voltage 230 volt, while the electronic system second works on system 5 volt. If we connect these two systems through a wire medium, then it may be possible that electronic system second may get damaged due to the high voltage in the system first. Hence, in this type of condition, an optocoupler is used because optocoupler generates the link between system first and system second through a light energy. I hope you all understand the basic optocoupler. Now let's see the basic construction of optocoupler. Optocoupler or optoisolator is a device which has two diodes. One is source of emitting light, usually a light emitting diode or LED, and other is photodiode acting as the photosensor. Okay, the LED converts an electrical input signal into light and the photodiode detects the incoming light, and based on the incoming light it generates corresponding electrical energy. Here is the construction of the optocoupler is shown, in which it has two diodes. First one is LED and second one is photodiode. LED emits light and this emitted light is detected by the photodiode. Now let's see our next point. There are different type of optocoupler depending upon their construction. Here in this type of optocoupler, the LED is used to transfer light energy while a photodiode is used to detect it. And in this type of optocoupler, the phototransistor is used the light emitted from the LED. Okay, I hope you all understand the construction of the optocoupler. Now, let's see the operating principle of an optocoupler. A powerful light emitting diode LED is connected across a variable voltage source at the input side of the optocoupler. By adjusting the input voltage across the LED, the intensity of the light emitted from the LED can be controlled. A photodiode is present in front of the LED so that light from the LED directly strikes the junction of the photodiode, which is in the reverse bias condition. The photodiode is output side of the optocoupler. If we increase the voltage across the LED, the LED starts glowing, and at the same time intensity of light increases with increase in the input voltage across LED. With increasing light intensity, the reverse current in the photodiode increases. since the reverse current in a photodiode is linearly proportional to the intensity of the light falling on the photodiode junction. Also, if we decrease the intensity of the light in the input, the output photodiode current will also decrease. Let's see this description on the diagram of the photodiode. Here is the diagram of the photodiode is shown, in which the LED is forward biased through a variable voltage source. The forward bias means anode is connected to the positive terminal and cathode is connected to negative terminal. Similarly, we know that we use photodiode in reverse bias mode. That means anode is connected to the negative terminal and cathode is connected to the positive terminal. Here, the voltage source applied across the LED is variable in nature. That means we can vary the supply of LED. At a particular forward supply or at a particular voltage, the LED start glowing and emits light. As we increase the voltage source, the light emitting from the LED also increases. This light is incident on the PN junction of the photodiode and a photocurrent flows through the diode. One point is important here, that if we increase the variable voltage, the LED also increases. Hence, in this case, the photocurrent is also increases. If we decrease the voltage, the intensity will decrease, and if the intensity decrease, then the photocurrent also decreases. I hope you all understand the basic working principle of optocoupler. Now, let's see our next point. Nowadays, the optocouplers are available in the various IC forms. Some forms of the optocoupler are given here. Let's see. This is the phototransistor optocoupler, photo Darlington optocoupler, photo SCR optocoupler, photo triac optocoupler, etc. Let's see some advantages of the optocoupler. Optocouplers allow easy interfacing with logic circuits. Electrical isolation provides circuit protection. It allows wideband signal transmission. It is small in size and lightweight device. There are some disadvantages of the optocoupler, such as the operating speed of the optocoupler is very low. In case of very high power signal, the possibility of signal coupling may arise. There are some applications of the optocoupler. First one is the optocoupler is used in high power inverters. It is used in high power choppers. It is used in AC to DC converter. It is used in communication equipment protection, in microprocessor, microcontrollers, input output switching, in lamp ballast, in light dimmers, in valve or motor controllers, in microcontrollers for interfacing with high voltage circuits. I hope you all understand the optocouplers. Now let's see our next point, the solar cell. The solar cell is also known as a photovoltaic cell or PV cell. It is defined as an electrical device that converts light energy into electrical energy through photovoltaic effect. That means the solar cell is an electronic device which converts light energy into equivalent electrical energy. A solar cell is basically a PN junction diode. Solar cells are a form of photoelectric cell defined as a device whose electrical characteristics such as current, voltage, or resistance vary when they are exposed to the light. This is the symbol of the solar cell. Okay, here the arrow represents that the light is striking at the junction. This is the actual solar cell which is available on the solar panels. Let's see the construction of the solar cell. The solar cell is a semiconductor PN junction device. However, its construction is not same as a normal PN junction diode. The semiconductor materials like arsenide, indium, cadmium, silicon, selenium, and gallium are used for making the photovoltaic cells. Mostly, silicon and selenium are used for the making cells. Now, let's see the construction of the solar cell. The top layer of the device, that is P region, is made very thin in comparison to the N region so that the light can easily enter into the material at the PN junction. Here is the construction of the photovoltaic cell or solar cell is shown, in which we can clearly see that the P region is thin with respect to the N region. This is arrangement done because the light incident on the P layer directly enters through towards the PN junction. Okay. Now let's see the next point. A layer of glass is placed at the top surface of the device in order to gather maximum incident radiation. The silver metallic fingers are provided at the top of the structure. At the bottom, the metallic contact is placed, which is generally a nickel plating that acts as the negative contact for whole structure. Let's see the construction here. Here, in this construction, we can see that the P layer is made very thin with respect to N region in order to collect or in order to strike the incident light at the PN junction. The glass layer is provided to gather the maximum incident light radiation. The silver fingers are provided and the metallic contact made up of the nickel plating is available for the negative contact. The next point is the VI characteristics of the solar cell. This diagram shows the VI characteristics of the solar cell, on which the x-axis represents voltage and y-axis represents the photovoltaic current. This is the graph of the normal VI characteristics of the PN junction, or the graph of the solar cell. On this graph, we can see the three terms: open circuit voltage, short circuit current, and maximum power point. Let's see the definition of each term. First one is short circuit current. The maximum current that a solar cell can deliver without harming its own construction. The maximum current density or short circuit current density rating is nothing but a ratio of maximum or short circuit current to exposed surface area of the cell. That means JSC is equal to ISC upon A, where JSC is the current density, ISC is the maximum short circuit current, and A is the area of the photovoltaic cell, where ISC is the short circuit current. Okay, I hope you all understand the term of short circuit current. The next term is the open circuit voltage of the solar cell. It is measured by measuring voltage. Here is the open circuit voltage of the solar cell. It is measured by measuring the voltage across the terminals of the cell when no load is connected to the cell. Normally, open circuit voltage of solar cell nearly equal to 0.5 to 0.6 volt. It is normally denoted by VOC. And the last term is maximum power point of the solar cell. The maximum electrical power one solar cell can deliver at its standard test condition is known as maximum power point of the solar cell. If we draw the VI characteristics of a solar cell, maximum power will occur at the bend point of the characteristics of the curve. This is the VI characteristics of the solar cell, and this is the bend point. This bend point is known as the maximum power point. At this point, we get maximum voltage and maximum current. The output characteristics of the photovoltaic cell is shown in this diagram. Here, x-axis represents the incident intensity of the light and y-axis represents the output voltage produced by the photovoltaic cell. We can see here that if we increase the intensity of the light, then there is increase in the output voltage produced. Similarly, we can see the output current characteristics of the photovoltaic cell. This diagram or this graph shows the output current characteristics of the photovoltaic cell. The output current characteristics of a solar cell with different load resistances is shown here. This is used for 0 ohm, 500 ohm, 1000 ohm, 5 kilo ohm, etc. From the graph, we can see that with increase in the intensity of the light, the resultant current through the cell also increases. That means if we increase the intensity of the light, then the current is also increases. Now let's see the advantages of the photovoltaic cell or solar cell. If we use the photovoltaic cell or solar cell, then there is no pollution associated with it. It must last for long time. There is no maintenance cost for the solar cell. There are some disadvantages of the solar cell, such as it has high cost of installation, it has low efficiency. During cloudy day, the energy cannot be produced, and also at night we will not get the solar energy. Let's see some applications of the photovoltaic cell or solar cell. We know that the solar cell is used in the solar panel to generate electricity. That means it converts light energy into electrical energy, and in our day to day life in home appliances we can use this energy. Some other applications of the solar cell are given here. Let's see. It may be used to charge batteries, it is used in light meters. It is used to power calculators and wristwatches. It can be used in spacecraft to provide electrical energy. In today's lecture, we discussed about the optocoupler and the solar cell. I hope you all understand the concepts of the optocoupler and the solar cell. Thank you.